Hello everyone, and welcome to the final speech of Speech 205. This is my controversial topic, and it is of paying college athletes. Now before we get started, I want you to think of your viewpoint. Do you think that they should get paid, or should they not get paid? And think about that while I take you through this speech. So let's begin. There's a lot of college sports out there. There's basketball, there's football, there's hockey, there's soccer, there's tennis, there's a lot of sports, and everybody kind of watches their certain sport that they enjoy. And the two most popular sports are basketball and football, and those are the ones that bring in the most revenue for colleges nowadays. Now, for athletes, they spend up to 80 hours a week on their sport and their schoolwork. So that's like working 2 full-time jobs in a week just to make ends meet. So with them working 80 hours per week, they don't really have time to find a part-time job to earn that extra money to do extracurricular activities outside of their sport and their schoolwork. So why is this a big topic? As I just said, athletes want to do other stuff besides practice, games, and their schoolwork. They want to hang out with friends, go to the movies, go on a date, but they don't have money to, so they can't really do it. Let's talk about revenue. So the NCAA sells jerseys online. Now, if you search a jersey, you can search it by any name and it'll pop up. But the catch is that it's not going to have the player's name on the back of it. You're going to have to customize it to do that. If you went online and searched Deshaun Watson, you'd find a number 4 jersey of Clemson, but it wouldn't have his last name on it. But you can customize it to have his last name on it. The same goes for most Division I schools nowadays. You can find their number, but it's not going to have their name on the back of it. But the NCAA still gets revenue for that. So, in 2012 and the 2013 school year, the NCAA reported an income or a revenue of $871.6 million. That's a lot of money. And when you think about it, that's more than enough to pay everybody that works for the NCAA and have some extra laying around. Also in that same year, Alabama reported $143.4 million in revenue. That year, their football team won the national championship against Notre Dame. So, when you win a national championship in any sport for a school, you get extra money. So, where does this money go? That's more than enough to pay their coach and add extra facilities around the school. Now, there's a few court cases that went around, and we're going to talk about the amateurism of the sport and the NCAA's views around it. So, Ed O'Bannon and Sam Keller sued the NCAA for their images, likeliness, and that in video games. It was a college football and college basketball games that they were in. They said the players looked just like them, they had their numbers and everything, and that they should get compensation for them being in a video game, just like NFL players do nowadays. The NFL gets revenue for them being in a video game. So what happened with this court case? Well, everybody that was in a video game, football, basketball, any NCAA football game that was produced up until 2014, they all got compensated for how often they were used, how many copies were sold, ranging from $1,000 to about upper in the $100,000. It all depends on how popular you were. So this case also ended up with the NCAA having to provide full scholarships for athletes now. If athletes were to get paid, though, they would no longer be considered amateurs according to the NCAA. And that's why in the court case, they decided to go with full scholarship for athletes to protect the amateurism of the sport. The NCAA also says if you want to get paid, you can go play in other leagues like overseas, the Canadian Football League, and there's also rumors about a D League coming out for the NFL. Now, when it comes to the NCAA as well, they always say student first, athlete second. But when it comes to college football and basketball programs, their graduation rates are 30% lower. Why are they so low? Probably because as soon as they can, they're leaving to go pro to earn that money that they always wanted to get. So let's look at tuition for Clemson and Alabama. For in-state tuition at Alabama, it's about $11,000. For out-of-state, it's about $28,000. That's a lot of money for somebody coming from out of state to play for them. And a lot of athletes come from low-income families that can't really afford that. So the full scholarship really pays for a lot here, but doesn't give them extra money. The same goes for Clemson. Their tuition is just short of $15,000 just for tuition, but out of state, it's close to $35,000. That's a lot of money when you think about it. So what should we do? I think we should allow students to take endorsements from sponsors like Nike, Adidas, Asus, any really sponsorship that they could get to allow them to earn extra money. Now, when it comes to that, the NCAA would have to loosen up on their uniform rules, because in the NCAA, they all have to wear the same uniform when it comes to shoes, socks, pants, t-shirt, everything, helmet, gloves, everything. They have to be the same, just because they have to look like a team. Where in the NFL and in the MLB and NBA, you see them wearing different shoes, different headbands, and things like that. So it could kind of be like the NFL, and it might convince athletes to stay in college because they're earning that extra money and actually graduate. So in conclusion, I think athletes should be able to receive endorsement deals. It wouldn't cost the colleges any money, so there wouldn't be a fight over, oh, how am I going to pay it? I'm a Division II school, we don't earn that much revenue. It would really settle that debate right there. But the NCAA would have to look at their amateur rules and find a middle ground to where they can still be considered amateurs and not professionals, but still receive some sort of compensation for their play. Because right now they can't do anything outside because they have no income coming in for athletes. And last but not least, here are all my sources that I used for this speech. There's a variety of ones. They're all very good sources. I want to thank you all for watching this speech. I really enjoyed this class. It really helped me as a student in order to be able to talk in front of a camera and give speeches and organize them. And I look forward to watching the rest of your guys' and see your topics. Thank you.